So I just got my issue of the New Scientist, March 7 through 13. This is the cover story. What is tearing the universe apart? Inside the scramble to rewrite our theory of cosmology. It's a very erudite 9-page article. Here it is, let me find it for you, that has lots of illustrations and lots of references, talks about the cosmic wave background, talks about the origins of the universe. Here's something I'm going to read to you from the magazine. It says, our current version of the universe is an astonishing cinematic achievement. Starts with the Big Bang, space-time erupting out of nothing before unfurling majestically with the formation of stars and then galaxies sculpted by the gravitational pull of both visible matter and mysterious dark matter, all the while serenely expanding thanks to a shadowy force known as dark energy. And then, it goes through the history, the cosmological constant, the problem with the cosmological constant in that the measured value is different from the theoretical value based on quantum field equations, and on, ultimately supporting a universe based on maybe string theory, infinite universes. And then dramatic headlines like black holes are much more mysterious than everything else. Well, the fact that you can hear me without sound in your brain is equally mysterious. So what if we take another perspective? What if I told you that the most sophisticated scientific story of the universe and the most intimate story of your own life are made of the same substance? What's that substance? Stardust? No. That substance is story. So let's explore the idea that the Big Bang, religious creation myths, and your personal biography are all real as experience and yet ultimately magical illusions appearing in consciousness. Science tells one story. Once upon a time, about 13.8 billion years ago, there was a Big Bang. Remember, first of all, that it was neither big nor did it bang. But in any case, according to that story, from an unimaginably dense point, space-time expanded. Stars and galaxies formed. Life emerged. And here you are watching this video. Of course, religions and myths tell other stories. Brahma breathing out a universe. Endless cycles of creation and dissolution. Cosmic eggs, serpents of infinity. God's dreaming worlds into existence. Cosmic story, but then there's your story. I was born in this family, in this city. These are my traumas. These are my achievements. These are my failures, my hopes. Completely different plot lines. Science, myth, personal story. But the wisdom traditions ask a radical question. What is the common factor in all these stories? Advaita Vedanta says all these narratives, Big Bang, religious cosmology, my life, have a relative validity. They work within their own frameworks. Science predicts, myth inspires, personal story organizes your day, sometimes usefully and sometimes into a total mess. Total mess. Okay, but none of them touch the one reality that doesn't come and go. Vedanta calls that reality Brahman. You have to use a name, although the name is not the reality. Pure awareness, the ground of being. Instead of arguing which story is correct, Vedanta shifts attention to the screen on which every story appears, like the screen in front of you now. But this is the screen of awareness in which the cosmos is perceived. It is the inner space in which your thoughts, memories, and feelings arise. That in you which never changes, even as every scene of your life keeps changing. What is that? The question is not which cosmic story is right. The question is, who's the one to whom all stories appear? To explain this, Vedanta uses a keyword, Mithyā. Mithyā. Mithyā is often translated as illusion, but it doesn't mean nothing or fake. It means dependent reality. Like a movie. When you're watching, the movie is not nothing. You laugh, you cry, your heart rate changes, but its entire existence depends on the screen. In Vedanta, the universe is like that movie. The Big Bang, evolution, history, all the way to your current breath are experientially real, but they depend on consciousness, the screen of awareness. So, the scientific story is Mithyā, valid within science, not absolute. Religious and mythic stories are Mithyā, meaningful, symbolic, not absolute. Your personal story is Mithyā, emotionally charged but still a narrative arising in the mind. Like mistaking a rope for a snake in dim light. The fear is real, the experience is real, but the snake was never there. The world is not denied, it is re-understood as an appearance in consciousness. Let's try to bring this right into your life. Your personal story feels deeply solid. This is who I am, these are my wounds, this is my role, this is what I deserve, and this is what I don't deserve. But if you look closely, what is the story made of? Sensations in the body, images in the mind, words, labels, interpretations, memories that shift over time, hopes and fears projected into the future. All of this appearing right now in awareness. So from a Vedantic perspective, your life story is like a dream narrative. Inside the dream, it's dense, meaningful, urgent. When you wake up, you see it was a magical lie. Not in the sense of useless, but in the sense of creatively, vividly constructed by the mind. Vedanta invites a similar waking up here and now to see that who I think I am is a fluid, shifting script, a story consciousness is telling itself. So, back to you, calm and grounded. If the scientific story is an illusion, if religious stories are illusions, if your personal biography is an illusion, what remains when every story is seen through? What remains is what has always been here. The awareness hearing these words, the still presence behind every thought and emotion. The I am before I am this or I am that. Vedanta calls this Atman, the self, and declares Atman is Brahman. The core of your being is not a character in the story. It is the field of consciousness in which stars explode, gods create, humans fall in love and suffer and awaken. Of course, from this standpoint, life doesn't become meaningful, it becomes Leela, a divine play. The Big Bang is a story in the play. Heaven and hell are stories in the play. My career, my relationships, my spiritual journey, all exquisitely detailed storylines unfolding in one indivisible consciousness. You don't have to believe this. Vedanta simply invites you to notice. Right now, every sight, every thought, feeling, and storyline is appearing and disappearing. But the aware presence that knows them does not come and go. That aware presence is what you truly are. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Tattvamasi Sat Chit Ananda.